Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Got a package to open up today. I'm actually recording this video for the second time, and we're going to talk a little bit about the economy and gold and silver first, and then in the second part of the video, I'm going to bust this package opening. I think you guys will be really excited to see what I picked up and why I picked it up, because some people will say you're wasting your money on stuff like that, and that's an opinion. And some people will disagree, and they might think that this has good value. And you can let me know in the comments below what you think once we bust it open. With that being said, let's jump right into the talk part first, because there are a lot of people out there that aren't really big into package openings. So I don't often, I guess I do them a fair amount, but I try to now do the talk first now that I'm aware of it. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute and hit that thumbs up button for me, because it really does help the channel. I think it's important what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk a little bit about the economy, a little bit about gold and silver, and even though sometimes I do refer to people's comments, it doesn't really bother me what they say. I just think that it's important to know how people's perspective is on what's really going on, because a lot of people don't really understand gold and silver, and they don't really understand that if you put your money in something else and it goes down, and you put your money in gold and silver and it doesn't do anything, then they want to be quick to say, oh, what's it doing for you now? It's flat for the year. Okay, considering that everything else is down, I'd rather be even for the year than down for the year. So we're going to inch in on that just a little bit. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, if you're not subscribed, please take a quick minute. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. So taking a look at silver first. Silver sitting pretty much right at $30 an ounce. We did see it inch down again today for another little bit of a buying opportunity, all the way down to $29.30. So there was room to pick up some good deals today. Some of y'all may have picked up stuff. Some of y'all may have held out and you're waiting for that bigger drop. I'll be honest, I'm looking for opportunities, and I overspent in the beginning, so who knows? We'll see what happens. Jumping in real quick, taking a look at gold. Gold right around $3,023, so that does put the gold silver ratio over 100 to 1 now, with it continuing to kind of linger right around the 100 area. We've seen 102, we've seen 98, and we'll see what happens in the long run. Ultimately, I think in the long run, we're going to see the gold-silver ratio plunge, and that will be a good opportunity to maybe trade out some of that silver that you've been sitting on and jump over and jump over and trade it over for gold. So with that being said, moving on real quick, one thing I want to point out is we did see gold take a pretty good hit today as it tumbled all the way down to $29.73. But anytime the price of a solid asset comes down, it always almost seems to get bought up quick. And that's exactly what we've seen today. With everything going on with the economy, with the uncertainty, with the tariffs, then obviously people want something real and sound. Jumping over real quick, taking a quick look at the Dow Jones. One thing to notice, the Dow Jones today down almost another 1%, down 320 points. Still not looking really good, and pretty soon it's going to look even worse on the charts, because right now when you look at it, just in the last 5 days, it's down 9.8%. However, if you look at it on a 1 month chart, it looks like it's down 10%. But when you go back out 6 months, it's down 11.5%. But what a lot of people don't realize is what's going to make this chart look worse is as the line moves, as the previous 6 months continues to go forward, eventually the start of the 6 month chart is going to be somewhere up here, maybe even over here. Once we pretty well knew that Trump won, we had that push higher. And then it fizzled down just a little bit. Once he took office, then we seen it pump even more higher. A lot of people were super excited, but that kind of wore off quick. And I think now people are just looking at what's really going on in the economy. They're looking at the prices that we're paying for stuff. And I'll be honest, well, no, I don't want to get political in this video. essentially people are worried about the economy. And a lot of that does stem from what the news says. The news is promoting that this is going to get ugly and you're going to be in this boat or you're going to be in that boat and things are going to get a whole lot worse. And just that alone promotes fear. Once you realize that, when everybody starts talking about fear, people start acting differently. If people are scared, they're going to start wanting to move out of riskier assets such as cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, possibly even moving out of stocks, and they're going to want to be moving into gold and silver. And right now, there's a huge amount of short positions out there, that paper contracts that are betting against gold and silver. If we go into a recession, theoretically, you would think silver would plunge because of essentially the industrial demand for it, but they'll tell you it's not a monetary metal. However, there's a lot of people out there that view it as a monetary metal, and once that happens, they're going to be buying it up, even though the paper contracts are essentially trying to push it down. And we're going to see what's going to kind of look like it's going a little sideways kind of for a little bit. It might look down, but look at the sideways pattern. We're starting to kind of see over the last couple days where it's kind of trading right in this range. Now, would I like to see a big drop? I would love to see it go back down to $28 again. I don't know if we will see that because I think more and more people are buying at this essentially lower price. I'll be honest, I would much rather put in an order at $30 an ounce as opposed to $35 an ounce. And so I'm not stressing this drop. Moving on, taking a quick look at the NASDAQ, which was also down pretty good today, down to over 2% or 335 points. Once again, when you look at this chart too, if you look at it over the last 5 days, it's down 11.25%. But as you go out 6 months, the same type of thing that I was just talking about is going to eventually start to show. When you look at December 16th, we were at 20,000. So that means we're down since December 16th, 25% really. But you're not seeing that yet because that initial little jump, because they don't put a 3-month window here anymore. I kind of wonder if that ain't by choice, that they took that out. That way they can kind of hide what's really going on. There used to be a 3-month window, but it was a while back. It wasn't like a recent thing that they took out, but it is essentially gone. Taking a look at year to date, you can kind of see it because we are at 70 days roughly, so you can kind of see it's a little more painful here. But there again, I mean, that starting point is at 19,000, whereas the high was over 20,000, almost 20,000, well, right around, 20,200. So we are starting to see, obviously, a pretty good drop. This is a lot of people getting nervous and essentially pulling out. They're getting nervous. A lot of people have been margined, which means they're betting big, which means they can either make big profits or they can lose big profits. And the next one that I kind of want to take a look at, I gotta do the S&P for my boy, but only because he was telling me, he goes, man, with everybody's retirements in there, how do you not do it? So I got to show it. And he's right. Taking a look at the S&P, down 80 points. We're sitting at $4,982 right now. But there again, down 10%, 11% almost in just the last 5 days. Once again, when you look at it, extended out 6 months, the same pattern is going to form up here, that as this chart goes further along, it's more likely we're going to see this number on the end continue to drop, and this is going to look a whole lot worse as time goes on. Moving into Bitcoin, which is something I kind of love to diss because I feel like a lot of the Bitcoiners want to come on these channels and diss sound money, and they like to talk garbage about crypto. Like, they talk garbage about gold and silver when really they're trying to, I'll say, deflect attention to try to promote Bitcoin a little higher, crypto's a little higher. Personally, I think it's starting to become obvious what's going on, and more people, even Michael Saylor, came out and gave a sell warning, which is not good when one of the most biggest investors in Bitcoin comes out and says something like that, because obviously he's holding a lot of it. I'm wondering if he ain't going to sell pretty soon, because at 75,900, obviously there is some pain there right now. It's down in just year to date, it's down 18.5%. Now, you can't say that with silver or gold. Silver and gold might have taken a hit lately, but it's been doing decent, really good, really, up until about a week ago. And part of me thinks that they're putting gold and silver in this category where it has to go down like everything else. But the thing is, there's a lot of people out there that are buying it because they view it as a safe haven asset. When all else fails, gold and silver usually don't. It might initially, because people need quick cash to cover short positions, to cover margins. As we start to see that, we'll see what happens when a lot of those sells on gold and silver kind of fizzle out, and then all that's left is the buying. Now, this is not financial advice, nor should it be considered as such. It's just my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, even though personally I don't think I am, but we'll see how it plays out in another month or 2 or 3 or within a year. Taking a look, though, on the last 1 day, on Bitcoin, down 368 points. Last 5 days, in 5 days, it's down 9.5%. So you're talking a pretty good drop there, down almost 8,000. When you take a look at a month, you're down 12%. When you take a look at 6 months, it looks pretty good, but there again, we're starting to see that initial drop now. So we'll see how this plays out as time goes on. I personally would not want to have my hands on Bitcoin. And we're not even seeing, can we even see it here? Yeah, with Bitcoin, we had the high. It was actually 107, roughly 108. And it seems like the high, I doubt they manipulate this chart because it's pretty public. People would complain, I guess, if this chart wasn't accurate, but they're also logging only a certain time every day. So they might log it at midnight, just like the stock market or the silver charts. When you look at a long-term chart on silver, usually these are just tracking the closing of that day. So once you realize that that doesn't mean that you didn't have big volatility. When you look at a day like this right here, yeah, it might have closed here, but at one point in the day, it was all the way up here. You can start to see big swings over the days, and that's one of the things I like about these type of charts. Moving on real quick, what else did we have that I wanted to talk about? And actually, that's it, actually. So we're going to jump into the package opening. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what I picked up and why I picked it up. Now, I recently got a comment that an individual said he picked up some Silver Eagles. With silver right now at $30 spot price, he picked up some American Silver Eagles, and he picked them up for $35. So that's $5 over spot. Now, I don't know exactly what the big bullion companies are. I should have pulled that up ahead of time. However, what you're going to see in here is going to be a bunch of Silver Eagles, but not exactly like you would think. So let's jump over. Let's open this package up, and then let's talk a little bit about why I picked up what I picked up. I did already cut it a little bit just to get my label off. I actually started the video out playing, like I said, the Michael Myers theme. However, I had to delete it because I've been in trouble too many times by playing stuff that I'm not supposed to play, whether it's a clip out of a movie or a clip on something, the news, where they kind of make a joke about gold and silver, or just little things like that, and people don't. Okay, so real quick, let me take a quick peek here. Awesome. I'm just looking at the actual invoice. Okay, boom. So let's bust this open. I know right off the bat, some people are going to be like, what in the world? So what this package is, this is a mix. This is a variety pack. I made a deal and I said, can I get a mix of 100 slabbed coins? I want them all to be from governments, and I want them all to be 1 ounce. So I don't want United States commemorative dollars because that's not a full ounce of silver. And I didn't want rounds, I guess you can say. That's probably the safe way to say it. Rounds, because when you buy silver rounds, essentially you're buying bullion. And I wanted them all to be certified from either Pcgs or NGC because those are the most reputable, in my opinion. There is ANSI, I think they call it, ANCE or ANSE, I don't know. But I don't like that brand. I'll be honest, I really like these because in the past you could scan them, and that would give you a dollar amount as in a value of what they value the coin. Now, the downside about that is they've been really slacking on that. I don't know what the mix is going to be because it was 50 randoms and 50 spiders. Now, what do I mean by the spiders? This was kind of part of the deal I had to get. If I wanted them at the $40 deal, I had to take 50 of the spiders. Only because the individual has a bunch of the spiders. You've seen that I did buy some in the past. Obviously, I get a better deal on the spiders because he's got a lot of them. Anytime someone has a lot of something and you're going to take a lot off his hand, he might give you a little better of a deal. So for me, it made sense to pick them up at $40 a piece and just take random 100 as long as it wasn't 100 of the spiders. I'm hoping there'll be some eagles in here because eagles have a... Oh, wow, that's a pretty one. Hold on. See, like I said, I don't even know what's in here. $1,000 buffalo. What the heck? I've never seen. See, this is why I like stuff like this. So let's get this one focused in a little bit. How do they even say that? Tanzania? Is it Tasmania? No. I don't know what that is. It's not Tasmania because there's no M in it. Let's see if we can kind of get focused a little bit. And I'm going to show a lot of these on the shorts as I have been. It does have a buffalo. It has a really cool label. These are going to be really popular, I think, down the road because I'm thinking about doing a Pew Pew show and possibly making a lot of trades, opening up some doors, meeting some new people. Usually you can find coin collectors at these shows, and so it's a good opportunity. Now, I'm super excited. I might have to flip this over to kind of get this to, because it is packed tight. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm super excited. I think I already know that he gave me a really good deal in my opinion, because I'm hoping there's going to be a good variety. And as I flip it over right off, I'm seeing eagles right here, which is pretty cool. Don't really know. I'm hoping to get a bunch of eagles. The eagles I may actually end up saving for myself because, like I said, one subscriber just told me he picked up some eagles today. He paid $45 for just $35 for just an eagle unslabbed. So, I mean, the slab, yes, you're paying for plastic, but on the flip side of that, the plastic has a little value, especially if you can scan it and it gives a dollar amount. Now, like I said, I can't stand it when you scan them and they don't give a dollar amount. These are 2013 West Points. So it looks like there's a good amount of them, but that's okay because, like I said in the past, I do a lot of trading with people, and so it's pretty good edge still. Kind of wondering. I'm doing some quick math here real quick. With 6 even rows, I'm wondering how that's going to play out if they all look even. But some might be a different size. Next one is just a 2011 W West Point Silver Eagle. A lot of them are 69s. 69 is a bullion coin for those of you that don't know. I know someone left me a comment, and that's pretty good. So there's 5 of the 11s. There's 5 of the 13s. I'm really hoping there's going to be a good amount of the Tasmania ones, or what I'm going to call it Tasmania because I don't know how they pronounce that one. I know, unfortunately, there's going to be 50 of the spiders, which is kind of bumming because I've got a ton of them. So we got another buffalo, 3 buffaloes, 4 buffaloes, 5 buffaloes, 6 buffaloes, which is cool, like I said, because it's a new coin. I've never even seen this coin. I'm wondering, they just call it the African buffalo, but, and it is actual a coin of the realm. It's 100 shillings. I'm sorry, 1,000 shillings. So pretty cool there. I'll show you guys that again. See if you can kind of focus in a little bit. Like I said, you'll probably have to see them to get a better view in the short videos that I will be posting, because you can't really make out. One thing I always worry about too, when these get shipped, a lot of the time you will have little pieces and parts break off. Now, that can be bad to a certain point, because if it cracks the top, a lot of people get weary, like they question authenticity. Personally, I've already bought from this individual. I've tested every coin that I bought from him, and I've never had any problems. So, and I'll tell you right now, since it's not a secret, this did come from Twin City Gold in Biddeford, Maine. I have been getting a lot of stuff from them because they're really great people over there. The owner is super cool, and so obviously I'm going to buy as I can get good deals. Now, I know a lot of people have been reaching out to me and telling me about places that they buy from. If you're buying from one of the big bullion dealers, I'll be honest with you, I hate to say this because it guarantees that I will, even if I ever decide down the road, hey, I want to start taking sponsorships. If I tell you what I want to say right now, and I'm going to say it regardless just because I'm straight up, big bullion companies don't always have the best deals. They do sometimes. You would think because they are the biggest bullion companies out there that they can pass on the biggest savings. The problem is they spend a lot of money for big names. I saw one bullion company the other day that had a huge name who I'm not a big fan of. They call him Mr. Nice Guy. And I'm not going to name companies in today's video. But they had Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Wonderful, some people call him, I think. From Shark Tank. And I'm not a fan of him at all. I mean, he I won't say lured a lot of people into a crypto company that went bust and everybody lost their money. It was an honest mistake. He said, what he liked. I don't like that when people make too many mistakes. I kind of frown on that. Are you really doing your homework? So we'll see, though. Some people spend a lot of money on Google to get their company to be at the top of the charts. With a mom and pop company like this one, they're not spending huge money to get their name on top. And so they have that extra money to pass on the good deals to you. What I'm doing right now, I'm kind of looking, and I'm going to read off what I got. A bunch of 2011 Ws, which aren't bad. They're Eagles. That's pretty popular. People love Eagles. I got a little scared when I seen the koalas at first because I picked up a couple trays of the koalas. This is a 2013 West Point plain label. There's only one of them so far, so we'll see however this plays out. As I look through it, I see some Pcgs and some NGC. I'm cool with that. This specific coin right here, I literally picked up 40 of them. And when I bought these originally, I was paying $50 a piece for the certification. That kind of irks me that now you can get them as cheap as you can get them. But it is what it is with any kind of collectible. Now, this is really starting to excite me because I do like the buffaloes. It's kind of got me wondering if there's a bunch more different ones out there. Like, is it part of a wildlife series from Africa or what's up? They are called, I think it's pronounced Tanzania. That's what I think. That's how I think they pronounce it. It's called the Buffalo Big 5 High Relief Ultra Cameo. Beautiful coin. I think I'll do really well with these. I think if I decide to put them in the show, we'll see. I'm still debating. I have one of my friends, he teases me and he's like, dude, you won't do a show. You're scared. I've done shows before. It's just been forever since I've done it. The rest of these are spiders, and there will be, when this is all said and done, it's going to seem like a lot of spiders. And it's because there is. There was supposed to be 50 of them in here. Not because I wanted to, like I said, but because I had to get rid of them. The value on certified coins. What are you buying when you buy a certified coin? A lot of people like certified coins because now there are so many fakes out there. I was actually just watching a YouTuber that I follow once in a while. He's been doing it for years. He had a subscriber send him in, and someone's going to comment the name. Like I said, I don't really like to name names. But he had a subscriber send him in 5 silver eagles. Or, I'm sorry, he sent him in 2 silver eagles, but the guy bought 5 of them, and it turned out they were all fake. Bought them off the website, bought them off eBay, but through the Walmart eBay store. So I wouldn't think that shocked me, because making a purchase through eBay, yes, you can get fakes. But from the Walmart store, I would not have guessed that, because they have their reputation on the line. And so I wouldn't think that it would play out like that. But sure enough, they were fake. You could tell when you looked at them right off the bat when I seen the coin. So there is only, it looks like, well, so far, 4 of these ones. If I didn't have a ton of them, I wouldn't be complaining about them. I can tell you that. And the rest of these, it looks like a lucky member is going to get one of these again. You guys know I'm always giving stuff away on the channel. I want to do another big giveaway, but I need a big milestone to come. We did the last big one when we hit 10,000. I want to do another big giveaway at 20,000. 15 is not. Oh, awesome. Now I'm getting excited. I was getting a little nervous. I was like, oh, all the excitement's gone. The variety, I'm not complaining. Because when you get 100 of something, obviously you're not going to get, all variety of stuff. Well, yeah, we'll look at this next. Let's see here. I think I haven't seen this one, so I'll just make sure they are all the same. This is and these are 70s. Now, I had someone talk to me about the difference between 70 and 69 in the comments. They said when you get 69, it may only seem, and it might have even been New Marshall. It might have even been a member that I was talking to. But he said the difference between 69 and 70 is huge. There are a ton of 69s out there, but there ain't as many as 70s. This actually says that it is an Australian horse. It does have the queen on the back side, which is cool. And it has a couple of horses on the front. It has the Chinese, I'm guessing this is, and it is, the year of the horse, 2014. So kind of a neat coin there. I will definitely take those. Gives a nice variety. So super happy with that. Let's take a look here at what these eagles are. So only one of these. I wonder why. I wonder if the 13W in this label, it's early release. That makes a big difference. So there's only one of those. And that's okay. If it turns out that early release is a really good one, that definitely won't go nowhere. So let's see what we got here. We got 2011 25th anniversary. 25th anniversary. Anniversary. We'll put those there, since those actually line up with the other ones. And then these are 2008. These are all 2008 straight up label. Let me think here. 2008, was that a hot year? I don't think it was. I don't think there was a big year in '08. I was actually looking at the mintage on the gold coins to see which year was really popular versus which years were. So only one of that. So I would say it's still a really nice variety. I'm super excited about the variety. There should be 50 of these and then 50 of the other stuff. This definitely a win for me. I really like these. I think these are... How many people have ever seen these even? Tanzania. I'm gonna have it said right here in a little while. And I will show that in a future short. Had a little bit of broken plastic. I didn't see what they came off from, so I'm not horribly stressing it. One of them might have gotten dinged in the shipping. That happens sometimes. But I'm not super worried because here's the thing. At $40, a lot of them out of the capsule when silver's at 35 are easily worth $40 in my opinion, even out of the plastic. But the plastic does give it extra value. Now, you can let me know in the comments below, do you like essentially slabbed coins? What are your thoughts on them? I love hearing y'all's opinion. Sometimes y'all sway me on stuff. I can tell you right now, there is one subscriber out there. I don't know if he's still subscribed because I never see his comments, but he is in our Discord room. He knows if he watches this, he's going to know it's him, who kind of swayed me against 40% silver. I used to buy a ton of 40% silver. I loved it. What kind of silver can you buy under spot when everything else you got to pay, you know, at the time, 50 cents to $1 over spot, not counting silver eagles. I wish the premiums were still 50 cents to $1. You ain't getting that anymore. But yeah, he kind of convinced me. He finally got into my head and convinced me that 40% half dollars may not be the best route to go. The weight starts adding up. Just this box right here was 100 ounces, and it was heavy. So with that being said, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this buy, and I'll see you guys again on T-Square Talk. I know I'm super excited about this, and I think there's going to be some good trade items in there. I'll keep some of each for myself, and then at a worst case scenario, I'll put some in my trade group and possibly even give away anything I got too many of. I definitely got too many spiders, so we'll see how that plays out. With that being said, let me know what you think of the spider at the end too. If you made it away, just say I would love a spider in the comments if you made it to the end of this video, and just leave it at that. Don't say giveaway. Don't say anything. If you just say I love the spiders, I'm gonna know you made it to the end of the video. I don't want anybody putting something in there and saying I made it to the end, so I'm saying this. I kind of like to leave it a surprise. That way I know who actually made it to the end and who didn't. So just say I love the spiders. I will talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.